Hey guys, I'm Ryan Grady, and this is Happy Talks. Now today, I'm all by myself, unfortunately. I was kind of busy this week. I guess I didn't manage to get a guest on, but I'm going to try to bring you as much gold as I can all by myself. I think I've got a good topic for today, actually. I'm talking about how you can make real friends, real connections on social media, Instagram. I'm going to specifically focus on Instagram, but I think you can apply this to not only social media in general, but also like maybe your life. I don't know. Some of the tips might apply. I was talking about this with my friend Ichiro, who I actually met on Instagram. And well, for those who don't know, me and Ichiro have kind of been working together to like grow our personal brands and like this other brand that we call Improvement, which is actually where this podcast is being hosted on. And like we were kind of talking about like what kind of strategies can we use to like, increase engagement, I guess, or like increase the amount of people that are like actually coming and like actively like following us, like kind of like fans, right? And as we were talking, I realized that like a lot of the strategies that I was mentioning are not exactly marketing strategies per se. It's more of just going out and talking to people like they're your friend. And for this episode, I guess I'm just going to kind of explain what I mean by that, because I guess most people traditionally think of a friend as someone you'd meet either through school or work or just naturally. And for Instagram, it's not like that. No one's really just going to, you're not just going to randomly be put with someone and they're like, well, this is your friend now. You really have to work for it. But I don't think the connections that you make on Instagram are any less real than the ones you would make in real life. Sometimes they can be even more genuine because you have such a wide range of people to choose from that you're bound to meet someone that's going to align with like your views, your worldview, your values. Yeah, so I guess that's my thoughts on social media friendships. Now let's get into the real gold, like the real reason that you're here. And that's the tips, that's the advice, the real action that you can take. Okay, let's go. The most important thing about social media is that, as I said, you're not going to be just put randomly with someone. You have to work for it. So what I mean by that is you're going to have to go actively looking for accounts, people that you want to be friends with. I'm not really going to get into like exactly how you can find these people. I think that could be a whole nother episode. I mean, to me, that's kind of obvious. You could go through followers, mutual friends, anything like that. But once you've actually like started looking for people online, the main thing that you want to focus on is finding accounts that you actually genuinely enjoy. Like finding people or accounts that you enjoy, that you like personally, or that you think the person behind the account is someone that you would like talking to, someone that you would like to be your friend, And that seems kind of obvious, right? But, I think a lot of people are just so focused on like just getting out there as many times as possible, fast work. And if you want to make real connections, the number one thing is that it has to be someone that's even worth connecting with. If you're only following someone for like what they can give you, such as like a follow back, maybe they'll go like your posts, maybe you want to get access to their audience or something, like if you want any of that, like you're not really going to create a genuine connection with the person. So anyway, after you've found your target, then the first thing you need to do is actually make them aware of you, because how are they going to become your friend if they don't even know you exist? And social media actually makes that super easy, The moment you drop a follow on someone, they get a notification. It's like, blah, 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 started following you, right? So now they know you exist, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're ready to be your friend or whatever, because they have a bunch of followers. They're not friends with all their followers. I mean, maybe some people are, but I try to be. I really try to be. If you ever want to be my friend, hit me up, Ryan Happy Talks on Instagram. But the point I'm trying to make is that we don't necessarily associate our followers with our friends right away, You have to actually have some sort of reason that you call them your friend. So after you've, done the first thing, now they know who you are, you followed them, you really need to go out there and give them some love, Give, friends, I feel like friends, they tend to be pretty nice to each other, Like, so first thing you want to do, maybe go drop a couple likes on their photos, Everyone likes getting likes on their photos. Maybe drop a comment, even better. And there's kind of like two levels of comments, if I'm going to get into that real quick. I think the first level of comment is if you say something like, oh, nice post, you leave like a happy emoji, a heart emoji, something like that. That's not bad, it's some love, it's great, it's not hateful, that's good. But there's a second level of comment, which is actually where you say something, and the best way to say something is to try to add something onto what they were saying, or try to like put it in different words, or even like point out one specific part in their post or caption that like really caught your eye, really show them that you actually like engaged with their content, really enjoyed it. And that comes back to the idea of like actually follow stuff that you enjoy, because then those comments are going to be genuine. You're not just like manufacturing them out of thin air. So that all seems pretty obvious, right? Just like comment, follow them. Like, of course, that's like the first thing you would do with anyone on social media. That's like the core functionality of the app. But actually, specifically Instagram, and I'm sure a lot of other social media has this, and you can probably guess what I'm talking about, and that's the ability to send a message to the other person, like a personal one-on-one message. It's basically like every account that you follows you back, you have their phone number, and that's so powerful. You can really get directly in contact with them, and you'll give them a notification and everything. But what are you going to DM them? That seems so scary. Like, if you just say hey or hello, is that too little? Is that too much? I always think just a hi is just fine. If you both follow each other, you both know who each other are, that seems fine to me. Like, hey, I want to talk to you, But, if you want to do a little more than that, I think one that can never go wrong is just sending some love. Something obvious like, hey, I love your page. Hey, that post you made was really good. You can respond to their story. What else can you do? If it's their birthday, you can shoot them a happy birthday text. If they reached like a goal of theirs, or they just released a new product, something like that, just shoot them a text. Congratulations. Anything like that. It's just pure love. There's no way that can go wrong. So, like the least they're probably going to say is thank you. They might like the message at the least. Like, they're going to read it for sure, because that's just pure love. And, if they don't read it, oh well, like, you sent out love. There was nothing, like, wrong with your message, I think you'll just feel good for sending out some love into the world. In fact, I really don't think there's much that you can do wrong. The only message that I would really highly recommend avoiding, and that's, you just don't want to start off by asking them to follow you or comment on your latest post, share your latest post. It feels not real. And you're really just asking them for something. I think if you want to start off by asking someone for something, a better thing to ask would be something like, hey man, I'm about to post this, what do you think? Or, hey, I read that latest post, what do you think about this? Or something, Something you might leave in the comments, but like DM them about it, why not? Maybe you can have a deeper conversation. And actually, when you're asking someone for advice, it's kind of a compliment to them, because it's telling them like, hey, I value what you have to say. I think you're smart. You seem knowledgeable on this topic. Anything like that. It's definitely a compliment. And I think most people feel really good about helping other people, especially if their Instagram account is focused on, teaching people things, helping people. They would love to like get in a conversation and actually help someone, because that's what they love to do. So yeah, overall, DMing is just super powerful. I think that all this kind of stuff, commenting, following, DMing, it's kind of basic. It's going to create a connection with someone. But come on, we're here to make real friends, real pals, real homies. So I think you gotta go beyond just DMing them and like talking about normal stuff. From what I've seen, I don't think that anyone will ever call you their friend first on social media. There are some people, and I hope after you listen to this, you'll be one of those people. But I think most people are just going to be like, oh, that's one of my followers. That's one of the people I know on Instagram. At least in their head, that's the type of thing you're saying. Like, you have to really establish that you guys are friends. And, you don't have to do that like, hey, we're friends or whatever. Sometimes I've done that. But, you can just subtly, like, start doing stuff like calling them, like, bro, calling them pal, Something more, like, friendly, like calling them by their name, anything like that. It's like real, like, hey, we're real people that know each other. Leaving a little smile, be like, yeah, bringing it back with another good post. Love this guy. Something like that. Like, even like share their post on your story and be like, check out this post from my friend. And it's so small, but like when you're saying those words, like the other person probably like wants to be your friend. If you guys really DM each other, talk, comment on each other's posts, it's like they're probably open to being friends with you. But I do feel the need to clarify that you want to keep it genuine, you want to keep it real, 100, So if you don't really feel like that's you to call someone your pal or your bro or something like that, like I don't know what you call your friends in real life, but maybe you just call them by their name or something, then maybe you can just completely ignore this step. But I think like the final, strategy that I have here will be relevant to everyone. And that's to start really acting like their friend. And what I mean by that is it all comes down to the DMs, and that's what are you sending them? Like, most of the time, we're sending stuff that's relevant to social media. You know what I mean? Like, hey, nice post. Hey, what do you think of this post? Hey, anything like that. Hey, you want to collab? Hey, follow for follow. Anything like that. Like, that's kind of what the DMs has become, and it's become more of like a business email area. So what I think you should do is actually like kind of force yourself to be a little uncomfortable and send them like a funny picture you saw, like a meme or something. Or you know what really works is send them like a selfie or a picture of what you're eating for dinner, anything like that that's like you in the real world, not you as your Instagram self, but just you as a person, like almost like what you would do on Snapchat to your friend or something. Like, just send them something like that, a picture, maybe even just tell them about your day, anything like that that really humanizes you, because that's when you've bridged past just being Instagram friends and now you're moving into real friends. You're like, yo, check this out. Check out what I'm having for dinner, something like that. You know, there's just so much you can do in the DMs, like on the messages with people. Another one that I think is super great is send someone like something like maybe a post or something that you're working on that you haven't necessarily released yet, like something unreleased. What that does is it brings that person into your inner circle, like someone that knows you more than the outside world knows you, you know, and that's the same type of thing with the selfies. And actually, I guess that kind of finishes up with the tips that I have. Sorry, this episode's a little shorter than normal, but I feel like I packed a lot of stuff in there. It's kind of a very specific tips thing, so it should be good. But if I'm going to throw in like one last thing, one last piece of advice is don't forget about the people. I mean, I know some days you might be busy or something like that, but don't forget about like your friends. If you've created a friend, or like you want to call them a friend or a fan or anything like that, like as you gain more and more followers and you have more people, don't forget about your OGs, the original homies that you like met first, and even people that you meet a little later along the line. Like when you have your first 1,000 followers, the people you meet there are still important, you know? So don't necessarily forget about them. I know you're going to have more people, and now you're going to be like, oh, who's important? And you're going to start finding people that are like your real homies, like your real, you know, you're probably going to have maybe like 5 people max that are going to be like the people you really talk to a lot. But, you know, every so often, just, you know, make it a point to go out there and just send them a little message. Hey, how have you been? Hey, check this out. Something like that. Just to like let them know that you remember who they are, you know? Because you probably haven't forgot about them. It's just like, it is a lot of work. I know some people are able to maintain like a bunch of friendships online and stuff, but you know, just for people that I guess don't do that, that would be a little tip of advice would just be, you know, every so often remind yourself, hey, I gotta go out there and talk to these people. And yeah, I guess that's everything I have to do. If I'm going to summarize it, it really just comes down to, I guess, first you have to break the barrier between like social media and like friends, you know? That's kind of a little weird, not often broken barrier. And then secondly, you have to make the person feel special, like a real friend, you know, give them some love, you know, share a little bit of your life, you know, share something like that, and then you guys are going to be real friends. They're really going to feel like part of your circle. So that's, I guess, all for today. I'm Ryan Grady. See you guys next week on Happy Talks.